name is Ballim, Shaz for short. I'm a mother of 2 children and an amazing, supportive, strong husband and partner for life. I have multiple enterprises that I'm a part of, and the 2 closest to my heart would be Quality Home, which I inherited from my dad when he fell ill. And we import, wholesale, source, and distribute finished goods to multinationals like Walmart and smaller independents, as well as being a dealer at an engine service station that comprises of the Quick Shop and the East franchise as well. My journey was quite complicated. I'm an only child. So I was actually studying and my dad fell ill. So halfway through my studies, I had to come into the family business, and I was fairly young and a newbie at that. And sadly, shortly afterwards, he passed away. So what had happened is I had to now step into his shoes and try and continue. And it was not an easy journey. There was no chance of failure because there were so many people relying on me at that point in time. And so it was just a matter of pushing through, trying to get things up and going again, and trying to make it bigger than it was before, which we successfully have done. So I'm quite glad for that. In terms of the service station, it was always a dream of mine to be in the petroleum industry, but there's only 4% of dealers nationwide that are female. So not having much experience in the field, I actually boldly took a step forward and applied to be a dealer in 2015. And I had to jump through some hoops to do that and put a lot of work in. But in 2017, I became the dealer at Engine Ushaka at the Point Waterfront. So it's been a great journey and experience. I do lots of other small things here and there, but those are the main 2. Apart from being thrust into the family business and having to start all over again, we have faced numerous challenges, with the pandemic being, the biggest part of it. As much as you would think a service station would be a pandemic-proof business, it wasn't. And, we had to weather the storm, carry on, continue, and find a way of continuing, and that comes with strategic planning, constantly being on it, keep afloat, and make sure that we're always growing. Thankfully, we have been, which in itself is an accomplishment, because prior to this, we had road closures, storm damages. So we've seen our fair share of, calamities. Well, I have had a dad that was a springboard, and, what I learned from him without even realizing it, by going to work after school and picking up bits and bobs here and there and having him teach me certain things, ended up, pushing me into the entrepreneurial field, where my dad basically was one, and so was my grandfather. So I spent a lot of my younger days at Hammersdale Wholesalers and later at my dad's business, and I basically just figured out the rest along the way. I had a really strong mum, and both of them are late now, but quite honestly, I'm just powered and driven by wanting to accomplish these, to prove to my kids, my family, and that it can be done, and women can do it all. You can have a family, you can work, and it just takes a lot of planning and a lot of, passion. So I had 3 big dreams. One was to build my dad's business into something bigger than it was, which I've succeeded in doing. The second one was to be in the petroleum industry, preferably engine, which ended up working out well for me. And the third one is to leave a legacy behind for my kids, because I'd like them to know and aspire to be entrepreneurs and to make a change in this world, and to know that nothing is impossible. Don't let opinions of anyone stop you, as long as you believe it can be done. In terms of the future goals, I'd like to see how we can bring in different sources of revenue, look at how we can diversify. You always need to innovate and change. I would like to empower women to become, more involved in, especially the fuel industry, take the risks to do what they need to do to put yourself out there and be tenacious and be ambitious. And in terms of the fuel sector, well, we're steadily growing, and I hope to see where that leads to, because there's lots of changes that are coming there as well. And in the import industry, well, currently we've diversified a bit, and we are now sourcing any product that anybody needs. So apart from doing our tableware and homeware with the multinationals, we now will be able to get absolutely anything you need from anywhere in the world. And this business is 35 years old, so we're quite well established. So you always need to be diversifying, always need to be innovative to try and keep above. You're always driven by passion to see what you can do. The more somebody says to you, well, it can't be done, the more I tend to want to do it. And that seems to be my biggest driver. Like, for instance, when I was applying for the service station, I would not take no for an answer. There was a point where my husband said to me, it's only like 50% there. And I said, no, it's mine. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to be your biggest cheerleader. I'm also my harshest critic. But if I want something, and if you want something, you just have to believe that it is already yours and just go after it. Nobody said it's going to be easy, but it can be done. The advice that I would give to young women, I would say that you need to be tenacious, you need to be ambitious. It can feel like shark-infested waters out there. Sometimes you need to, it's a matter of swim or sink, and no, sometimes it's just the beginning of a conversation. Doesn't necessarily mean that you have failed. You just keep trying and keep moving along and making sure that you are doing what you want and following your passion, and the rest will follow. So be positive, get ready to be uncomfortable, and just dig your heels in, and it will all happen for you. Well, I prioritize my family. We uplift each other. We're quite a strong unit, and family is very important to me. So I make sure that we actually spend quality time together doing stuff and having little getaways here and there. And basically just there's not much spare time once you're an entrepreneur, but you have to make the time. And by doing that, I would say that the solution is to build a business that's so strong that you can take the time that you need to deal with, your kids and stuff like that. Oh, it's a wonderful honor to be put into this category. I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, a lot of sleepless nights. There's times where you will work 24, 48 hours to get what you need done. And the work keeps piling on. So it's wonderful to be acknowledged for this.